Hey, everybody. Hi, replay people. Hi, replay people. As we give a moment for live people to join us, I heart you. Everybody that joins the replay, hearts to you. Hugs and kisses to you. To my replay people, or my live people, rather, I made it. My live people, I made it. Replay people, I heart you. Live people, I heart you because I made it. It's a little past 12:30, but we are here. So it's good to see of you. If this is your first time joining the Midday Moment, I'm your host, Dr. Davina Jones. Welcome to the Midday Moment. It is the place where we expect great things, and we expect great things not because we ignore the questions of our day, not because we ignore the challenges of our day. We expect great things because we acknowledge that we are fully human and fully divine. And in our fully human selves, we got stuffs. And in our fully divine selves, we got answers to the stuffs. And so the midday moment is designed to make sure you are tapping into your divine. Because when you tap into your divine, you tap into your river of hope, your river of peace, your river of answers, your river of resolve, your river of healing, your river of restoration, your river of provision. Yes. And we are not by ourselves encouraging you about your flow and your river of divinity. We are part of a larger network called Kingdom, and we are full of kingdom inspirations. It includes the daily download with Dr. Doctorpulley, the power of prayer and praise on Tuesdays and Thursdays with Elder Katrina Johnson Smith. And we got a few others too. Our commercials are right here on the Facebook page, okay? Scroll through our Facebook page and you'll see the flyers. It's time for the midday moment. Come on, y'all. Time for the midday moment. Hey. It's time. Hi, Paulette. My Baltimore crew. Yes, it's time. It's time for the midday moment. Why? Because I'm expecting great things. I'm expecting great things. I'm expecting great things. Where are you expecting? In my life, yeah, I'm expecting great things in my home. Oh, I'm expecting great things, and all around me, I'm expecting great things, yeah. Eyes may not see, but I choose to believe. You may not see, but I choose to believe. They may not see, but I choose to believe. Sometimes I may not see, but I choose to believe. I believe in great things. Yay! All right, everybody, say thank you, theme song. Thank you, theme song. All right, we talk back to our theme song, everybody. All right, so welcome to the midday moment. Let's get on to it because it's another unique day. It's a very full day for me. Thus, we started after 12:30, but we are here. And so we are in such a great place. We've been reading through, it's just that simple. This is really an explanation and encouragement about the foundation of faith as we practice it. Our version of faith, our version of Christianity is called Kingdom. It's a new thought version of Christianity. And the book was written on the premise that many times we make it very simple for people to be invited into our faith experience, and then we make it so difficult for them to have the faith experience. So to have our faith experience is built on three fundamental pillars: to love God, to see God as love, and to love God as love, to exalt God as love. And to worship, give priority, esteem reference to God as love, to love, yes. And then to love ourselves as a manifestation of love. and to love other people as a manifestation of love. And all of that takes some work. And so we've been outlining how you embrace that. And this is how we tap into our river of divinity. This is how we live from that river of divinity. And so we are at the end of the book, y'all. We are at the end of the book. And so we just finished up chapter 4. And I'm going to give the checklist today. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to give the checklist for chapter 4. Tomorrow, I'm going to set up chapter 5. And next week, we're going to finish with chapter 5. So we'll be finishing the book next week. Okay. So this is the checklist from chapter 4. And if you missed the last few episodes of the Midday Moment, I encourage you to go back and watch them here on the Facebook page, or if you're on the YouTube channel, because they have been rich. I mean, so rich. I'm not just saying it because I provided or I shared the talking points, but they are rich. They ministered to me because I was talking about myself. But it looks like I had a lot of amens in the comment section. And so I'm really encouraging if you missed them, okay? Or if you just desire to go back and catch them. Here is our check for today. This is your love your neighbor checklist. So this is a checklist. I'm going to go over the checklist today. Tomorrow, I'm going to set up chapter 5, and we're going to end next week. We will conclude with chapter 5. It's only like 3 pages. So that's perfect. It's like 3 or 4 sections. So we'll conclude with chapter 5 next week. Chapter 5, by the way, is entitled Light and Easy. Ooh. Okay, so I'll set that up tomorrow. Then we'll finish it next week, and we'll be on to our next reading. Here's the love check, or the checklist today. This is kind of like pulling all of chapter 4 together. Love your neighbor checklist. Okay, remember? I'm saying remember. I'm so tempted to review the points for the past ones, but no, that's not what we're doing. Okay, or at least not the detailed points. Okay, so here's a checklist for love your neighbor. I am going to mention this because yesterday, this is a nice pivot. Yesterday we talked about how can you say you love God who you don't see, because God is spirit, God is energy. But then you don't love your brother who you can see. It doesn't measure up. And so we talked about, for example, you saying you love God, but how are you treating the janitor? How are you treating people that don't dress like you dress? They don't have the latest and the greatest. They don't have the same position. They're not on the, same income level or academic level or what have you. How do you treat people? You got a PhD, somebody else has a GED. How do you treat them? Do you talk down to people? People can feel when you're talking down to them. Do you talk down to people, or do you talk up to people? Most of you know I have a practice when I greet people. I greet people. I love greeting people with, hey, beautiful. Hey, wonderful. Hey, how are you? How are you, wonderful soul? How are you, kind hearts? Because it encourages me to make sure I talk up to them and not talk down to them. And many people, we say we good, we don't have a problem with people, we embrace all people because we're all accepting and we love God and we're Christians, but then you talk down to people. Check yourself. Are you talking down to people? Are you talking up to people? So here's the love your neighbor checklist, and this will be our nugget. These will be our nuggets for today. So this helps us to review all of chapter 4. I see others as God sees them. Remember earlier we said God treats us all the same. We all get the same treatment from God. Love. Doesn't mean we don't walk through our lesson, but as I walk through my lesson, I am still loved. David wrote that his revelation was God saying, if I make my bed in hell, if I make my bed in hell, if I make my bed in my hell, that's very strategic there, that God is still with me. I still get the same treatment. Oh, I'm going through something, but I still get the same treatment. Love. So I see others as God sees me. I focus on my commonalities with others instead of just focusing on the differences. Our differences are for a reason. We talked about that in an earlier episode. I quoted The Color Purple. Shug Avery said, I think it this is Shug Avery. Shug Avery says, I think it pisses God off to walk by the color purple. She uses the P word, to walk by the color purple and not acknowledge it. And so we have those differences. But our differences are there. We said this too, for completion, not competition. And so focusing on commonalities and not just differences, because we all breathe in the same air, we occupy the same spaces. So there's a lot of commonality that we disregard because we're only focusing on differences. Focus on both, have a balance there. I forgive people who hurt me. Let me tell you, your body will hold unforgiveness. Your body will hold unforgiveness. Disease is dis-ease. And there's a great deal of dis-ease that comes because you haven't forgiven people. And it starts with you also forgiving yourself. I hold the consciousness of love even for quote unquote my enemies, those that don't seem to give and offer me respect. That takes some work, but you have it in you to hold the consciousness of love for those that aren't holding it for you or with you. And it might mean you leave them across the street, but as you leave them across the street, you hold the consciousness of love. I treat all people with the same love and respect that I desire. I owe that. We owe that to each other. I treat people with the same love and respect that I desire. I do whatever I can to help anyone who is in need. Now, you make sure you fill your cup first. And what flows out of that cup is an overflow. I can share it with you. So, yes, as my cup overflows, I share. When I come to work, I'm sharing. I fill my cup before I get here. I fill it while I'm here. That's part of the midday moment. And I share out of that overflow. I accept people's differences. I do not try to change them. We talked about that. You're going to have to, it's important to love your neighbor. It means you accept. It means sometimes you learn to agree to disagree. You learn how to table conversations. Okay. You don't have to try to change everybody. Everybody got to think the same thing that you think. I do not discriminate against people because they are different from me. I can agree to disagree without being disagreeable. You can be at peace with the fact that somebody likes one restaurant, you like another. Be at peace with it. I do not say or do things that I know offend others. You don't have to say everything that you feel, you think. You can manage your opinions. We talked about that in chapter 4. You can manage your opinions. So this is just a little checklist. What I read through is just a little checklist to help you kind of pull together all that we just went through in chapter 4. It was good stuff. We had some good talking points. Y'all can go back and get those talking points because they were juicy. They were juicy. All right. So that's our checklist for today. Just to kind of give you some reflection on loving your neighbor. And it really all goes back to how you're loving yourself because you can't give what you don't have. It's hard for you to give grace and love me when you haven't done it for yourself. All right. So those are our nuggets for today. Tomorrow we're going to set up chapter 5 called Light and Easy, and then we'll be ready to close out. It's just that simple. This is all about seeing, embracing, loving God as love, learning to love yourself, and then sharing that love with other people. All right. Take care, everybody. I love you. I heart each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. She says, I made it, y'all. Elaine said, I made Elaine, honey, I made it too. I was a little past 12:30 coming up in here. I got up in here at 12:45 today. I made it too. All right. I love each and every one of you. I heart you, replay people and live people. I heart you. Take care and have a wonderful, amazing, productive, light-filled day. All right. God bless you and God be you.